are going for a whole hour. Straight dog talk and the song. Jump on in and speculate. Show up on time, don't be weak and late. We are community, so don't hate. And learn to cooperate. Yeah, hit that like button and do your thing. 5 membership will get you in. So let's talk dogs and don't waste no time. Monday 7 p.m. Don't come doing the HATE. Otherwise Hollywood will give you the BYE. Here we go, kill the whistle. Oh yeah, we are going for a whole hour. Straight dog talk and the song. Jump on in and speculate. Show up on time, don't be weak and late. We are community, so don't hate. And learn to cooperate. Hit that like button and do your thing. 5 membership will get you in. So let's talk dogs and don't waste no time. Monday 7 p.m. Don't come doing the HATE. Otherwise Hollywood will give you the BYE.
The BYE, what is going on? Monday Bully Live. We're here. We are live. Reefing in the Rockies. Yo, D. Taylor says, great night last Friday. Thank you, man. Thank you. Great Smoky Bully saying, yo, what is going on? Let me bring my guy, Michael Higginson. What is up? What's
going on,
Mike?
fam?
Hey, man, you know, tonight we're going to be talking about quite a few things, man.
I'm excited about tonight.
I've laid out, man, because ever since last Friday, basically the community's giving me an inkling that they want to be talking about these things. Hold on. Let me bring them up here.
Here we go. Kill the whistle.
Whoa. Didn't mean to do that. Meant to do this. So we're going to be talking about starting a kennel. The first 3 topics basically go hand in hand because we're going to be talking about starting a kennel. We're going to be talking about 2025 inflation. We're going to talk about the $2,500 DOGE checks. 3 flaws to never ignore. Are XLs going extinct? Is the market actually rebounding? And how many times should a female be bred? So, hey, we're going to jump on the first thing, man, starting a kennel, right? So, Mike, talk to me, bro. I know you're a newer breeder. What are the things that cause you to kind of think things over about starting anew?
What do I think is the most important things to start out?
Yeah.
Man, I would say research, and then research some more, man. You got to learn this stuff because I guarantee you just having your heart in it's not enough. You know, it's enough to start that fire, but it's not enough to get it going. It's a lot, man. You know, as soon as you think you know enough about it to dive in, you really need to know a little more. So that would be something I would recommend to people, man. Me personally, I put somewhere between 1 year and 2 years of really digging in before I made any moves, just trying to learn the breed. That may be a little excessive, but that's what I did.
Right.
I would say learn this breed type, learn the breed standards, and go to some shows.
What would you say from a monetary standpoint? What would you say from where we were as a community, say 2 and 3 years back, to where we are now? What would you say?
What would I say?
Like you know how 3 years ago, man, anybody could jump in and sell a $5,000 puppy like it's nothing. And right now we're kind of coming out of this deep recession, inflation, market going down, people jumping off, people selling dogs. Getting rid of dogs. Yeah. Talk to me.
I would say, like you said, here just a few years ago, you know, everything was hot. So there's 2 things I think are happening there simultaneously. One, our economy's going up and down, and that wave rise when the economy's doing better, then dogs go pretty well. When it's down, of course, they don't go as well. I think another thing that really, really plays into that is the genetic testing and stuff. And people, but there's a combination of that and the show ring. people in our community are becoming more and more aware of these things. And because of that, they're learning more about what to look for and what to make sure they're looking out for, and how to know a little more about whether they're getting scammed and what breed type is, and kind of what to expect. And I think just a few years ago, there wasn't very much information other than QBN at all for people to look into. And I think some of the ringing that you've been preaching for years is starting to gain, the populace. Like when I go to a show and bring up, embark testing, just about anybody I talk to knows what it is,
Mhm.
and they have dogs on their yard that have been tested. When
Yeah.
it used to be just a few years ago, it was
Yeah.
scarce. You might
Yeah.
find somebody to talk to about it, but nobody's using it. Now that's changing. Now people know what breed standards are. So I think that plays a big part.
I agree. I think inflation has eaten away at the buying power. I feel that the majority of the people in this community are blue collar, hard workers.
That's right.
I wouldn't necessarily say people that are living check to check, because in order to be able to, even if you're doing this as a hobby, this is a quite expensive hobby, if you will. Dogs are not cheap, not just to buy, but also to maintain. But I definitely feel that the economic part of it has definitely affected the market. However, unlike what many people would interpret what I'm saying, because I'm saying that it's affected the market in a negative way. I'm talking about the prices have actually come down. The demand is not there. So basically, the bull market that once was, it kind of left us here for the last year and a half, 2 years. However, if you know anything about a market, whether it's a bull market or it's a bear market, there's always opportunity. You just got to realize what's going on and where the opportunities lie. Right now, I would dare to say it's a very good time to get your hands on an amazing dog for a price that you probably couldn't afford 3 years ago. You could probably get away with murder right about now, buying dogs anywhere between the $4,000 and $6,000 range. You can get away with murder. Trust me when I tell you that. So I think that if you were looking to start a kennel now, I would say it's actually not the worst time. So here's why, right? So we all know economy's cyclical, right? So you're going to have ebbs, and then you're going to have flows, and ebbs and flows, right? Right now we're on an ebb, and we're barely starting to see the light on a flow. We're just not there yet, which would be great, because if you were to start by buying a male, it's going to take you 12 months for that male to be sexually mature in order for you to use them. Between now to a year from now, I am no, I don't have a magic crystal ball or anything, but I feel optimistic that the economy is going to be better a year from now than where it is right now, this minute, today.
I
And so
agree.
does the great majority of the populace, right? So just there, that's a step forward. But say you were to get a female, she's going to take 2 years basically, or 3 heat cycles to be ready, really close to 2 years. Again, I truly believe that we're going to be in a much better economic position 2 years from now than where we're at today.
Yeah.
Again, this is just, this is just our personal opinion and outlook. There's
Right.
nothing guaranteeing anything. I'm well aware of that. We got Great Smoky Bully saying question might be off topic for the night, but I tried that Members Mark, and that's that food I've been getting my dogs. And my vet don't recommend it because it's grain free, and they said that grain free foods have led to heart disease. Actually, they have led to dilated cardiomyopathy, DCM. Any
Yeah.
input? So I'm going to give you the input. The input is when they first started out with these grain-free foods, they realized that it was causing dilated cardiomyopathy, right? And so they started adding, man, I forget exactly what they added. Let me look it up. Let me bring it up. I've done this many times. I just can't remember off the top of my head.
Well, while you're looking that up, here's what I know about Members Mark, because that's actually what I'm feeding my dogs right now. Even though I would prefer raw, that's just where we're at. They do have a grain-free flavor.
Yes.
But they have several that are not grain-free. So if you look at all the different selection at Sam's, you'll see that, they do offer a grain-free, but there's several of them that are not if you wanted to try a different flavor.
Right. Okay, excellent. And that's true as well. I can tell you
Hey,
that,
Roll,
yeah.
don't you have to have the taurine in it if you're going to feed grain free?
You know what, Kyle? I'm starting to see some leadership qualities in you.
I'm telling you.
I'm going to be talking. Mike, remind me so I could get Kyle a raise, because I'm seeing some leadership qualities, man, and they need to be called out and taken care of.
Right. That's right.
That's it. I'm tired of Kyle having to work that extra part-time job on a pole.
Yeah, we're gonna get him off the pole, baby.
And all that stuff. We're going to get rid of that stuff, man.
Hey,
Now,
you better tell the boss they owe me some money, I guess, man. Somebody owes me something.
Yeah, right.
I said we're going to get you a raise, man. I didn't say how much, but you might just get one of these, a raise.
Look, I've already raised up from down there to up here. Look at that.
There you go. But listen, taurine, Kyle is absolutely right. And he knows from all the videos we've done. So he did 90% of the editing, so he remembers. Anyways, taurine is what's added into dog food in order to counter the dilated cardiomyopathy that is being caused by foods or dog foods that add either too much peas, potatoes, or even lentils. Lentils are horrible for dogs, guys. So if you ever see that on the ingredient list, run the opposite direction. Do not get that.
Great for us, bad for the dogs.
Bad for the dog. The dogs are not meant to be eating beans. Again, not to be eating beans at the rate that we eat it.
Right.
Whenever they catch a little rat or something, there may be 2 or 3 little bean grains in the stomach, and that's fine. But really no more than that. So that's what I can give you based on that. What's up, Bully fam? We got the life of Miklo. Yeah, we're going back. You know where that name Miklo comes from, right, Mike?
No, I don't.
Yeah, man. Vatos Locos Forever. You don't remember?
I remember that movie. What was that? That was
yeah.
Colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that's what it was, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, Vatos Locos Forever. There you go, man. Stay fresh, bullies. Evening Bully fan. What's up? Good day, my friend. Hope all is well. Look at that. LLB in the house. Yeah, LLB. He ain't talking nothing about my dude Trump or none of that. He's just having a ball today, man. He's just part of the family. Ryan Flippo, what's up, Bully fam? Shay Tree giving us some love.
What's up?
Uh-oh. If you follow stocks, they're definitely down right now, my friend. Okay, yes, this is true. Ryan Flippo, I personally feel every single person jumps into the game feet first, no clue what they're doing, and then do research and either want to breed for money or for the love of the breed. Let's stop that right there, because Ryan Flippo, let me tell you something, bro. I'm handing out wheel spins, free wheel spins today. I'm gonna tell you something, bro, because it's gonna break your heart, man. It's gonna break mine too. But I got the wheel ready for people that are making amazing comments that I'm going to be using to make a point. But unfortunately, you're not a member, Flippo. You don't have that little mark by your name, so I can't give you the free spin. But I will say this. I agree with your comment 100%. 99.9% jumps in here. They buy a dog on a whim. And then after they buy the dog, the next 6 months is trying to research and trying to figure out, where do I stand with this dog? Is this dog really up here where they sold him, or is it down here? And if it's down here, I heard this crazy dude, Raul, says he could clear Easty Westy with a Nuvet, new joint. Yes. So let's run over there now and try to figure it out. And that's really kind of like not the way to do things, bro. Could you imagine if we all got married the same way? Yeah, I married that one right there. Yeah, oh sure. Then 6 months into it. Oh, by the way, what's your name? Why is it
Yeah.
you got an extra toe on each foot? I mean, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's you should be doing the research up front, not all the way in the back.
That's right.
So Brayman Bull says, "What's up, man? Hope everyone's doing good. Number love, Brayman. Queen's new bully kennel MBK. I personally would ask to have the research done on it. Don't take everything word for mouth. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm gonna give you guys. I saw a quote. It was on a meme, and I couldn't agree with it more. And it said, "The sheep live their entire lives fearful of wolves, only to be slaughtered and eaten by the shepherd." Right? So, you know how the bully game works and clicks. Everybody's following this guy over here, and we do. And at the end of the day, that person that you're clicking and you're thinking, man, I'm gonna let you know right now, whether you like it or not, breeding is about money, and money has no friends.
Right.
Period.
That goes back, the dude's comment. It all goes back to what I was saying, Raul, like research, and study that breed standard, man. Because at the end of the day, these trends come and go and that breed standard stays. So,
yeah. Yeah. Flippo is saying, me personally, I jumped into it when my kids wanted a dog, and the neighbor has some backyard breed bully pups. My dog is awesome, but now I have done a lot of research and plan to purchase my first paper dog. There you go. So you just realize the dog is great, but the value that you were trying to get, in other words, for breeding, it's just not there with a dog without papers. Guys, real quick, man. Let me just say this real quick. If you want to become a member of this channel, you can for as little as $5 a month. We got the link down below, and you become part of the conversation. Not only that, I'm passing out wheel spins. In addition, for those of you that have been following us for a long time, I'm actually considering bringing back the bully stack off. Now, I've been talking to Mike. I've been talking to Kyle. And Kyle's like, no, man, we can't have it like before. It was just one big train wreck. Dogs all over the place, lady with panties in the background, this, that, and the third. And he's right. And Mike also, he's like, man, you can't do it like you did it before. It was just too much of a cluster. So what I'm thinking about doing is every time we go live, I will accept the first 4 dogs, whoever wants to show their dogs, and the winner, whether it's one person that shows up or 4 people that show up, the winner get to spin at the end of the night for a $1,000 prize. And I'm just going to run it like that just to see how it works out. Let's see here. What is the best dog food for bullies? Well, I think raw. I think we've said that quite a bit. The vitamin tureen, says Shea Tree.
I would say raw, and behind that, cooked real food.
Yes.
And then behind that, maybe,
wet food and then kibble.
yeah.
In that order. Shea Tree says, before the case, FDA heart study was done with grain-free dog food. There was no taurine added to the grain-free dog food. Now they put it in there. So if your vet is saying he doesn't want you to get Members Mark because it's grain-free, okay, come here, buddy. Let me give you a little bit of education, right? Because you know about diet and you understand taurine, right? These big old companies are not going to get sued over their dogs having dilated cardiomyopathy, so they're going to add
I can
taurine.
tell you, because I've looked, that the grain-free Members Mark does have taurine in it.
They all do.
Yep.
They all do nowadays.
Yep.
The thing is, that vet, I'm pretty sure, has a science diet on his shelves. Yeah, and he's trying to set you up for failure. That's pretty much what it is. Look, Drippy's already cracking up. He knows what I'm talking about. Queen says, can't see it now. Might be because I'm on the phone. Thanks very much. Not sure what she's asking about. Stay fresh. I also switched to Members Mark sweet potato and salmon. My boy Hank the Tank loves it. Okay? He loves it. Now, tell me, how's Hank the Tank improved or not improved ever since he's been on that? Give us that insight, man. Get it, Hollywood. We got Queen See It now. Thanks. Looks great. Okay. Let me add up. OFA vet told me that peas and lentils and pea protein can also cause, DCM. My dogs were fine. I think as a cardiologist, he was just educating. I think he's 100% right. Lentils, and I said it earlier, lentils is lethal for dogs. If you see lentils as part of the ingredient list inside of kibble, do not get it. I don't care if it has taurine. Trust me when I tell you this. Stay away from lentils. Stay away from pea proteins. Stay away from soy. Soy, we spoke about this on Friday. Soy has something that's called phytoestrogen, and it mimics estrogen. And therefore, because there's a large supply of estrogen, the body interprets as there being a large supply of estrogen, then none is being produced by the ovaries, which are the ones that are being stimulated to produce eggs. So you're out here feeding your dog that soy food or food that includes soy, and you're thinking you're saving a buck. It's costing you so much more. You don't even know.
It affects the males and the females for sure.
Absolutely. IGXL Champ Cooper says, at what age do I switch from puppy dog food to canine dog food? Okay, so I'm gonna give you a little secret. My secret is I never put puppies on puppy dog food. I'm talking about kibble. I never put my puppies on puppy kibble. I did that once back in the days, and my dogs got all wonky. I had to change up the diet. Luckily for me, everything worked within 96 hours. We fixed everything. What I learned is puppy dog food is very concentrated, and their bodies do not know how to handle that concentration, especially when this kibble company is trying to save a nickel and they're importing, I don't know, sardines from China. Let me put it that way, just an example. Right. So the best way to handle that is I actually feed my puppies large breed kibble dog food. If you have a puppy that's starting to knuckle over and you see the knuckles are kind of coming up, Kyle, do me a favor. Can you look up knuckling over? Show them a picture. That's coming up here in a second. You have a puppy that's knuckling over. Fastest way to fix it is take them off of that puppy food that's got 30% protein. They can't handle that. That's the reason they're knuckling over. Too much protein will cause soft tissue to actually not be as resilient or as strong, right? That's right. And so with that being said, the way that you counter that is you actually feed large breed dog food, right, with as low protein as you can, and then you add rice and you lower the amount of kibble in order to hit somewhere around 13%. That's what knuckling over is. Actually, that's not the best knuckling over picture. Find me another one. That's like a weird type. No. Yeah, that one right there. Click that one right there. Yeah, that one. That's knuckling over big time.
That's pretty extreme, but that's what that is.
Yeah, that's pretty extreme, but that's what it is. Yep. And you're going to see the puppy will do that. It's pretty funky looking, and you're wondering what's going on. Well, if you don't tend to it rather quickly, you're going to have a pretty bad situation in your hands coming up, which is one of the main reasons, right? Which is one of the main reasons why I talk to everybody about Nuvet and New Joint DS, because what I do is I put my puppies in that large breed dog food, and then we're going to add Nuvet and New Joint DS, right? Nuvet's going to be the multivitamin and minerals the dog needs in order to correct this. New Joint DS is going to be the chondroitin, the MSM, it's going to be the glucosamine that your dog needs in order to strengthen those soft tissues that have now been, weakened due to a higher percentage of protein that's been getting fed to the pup.
I'll say also that high protein, it definitely does that, right, with the dogs, because they can't handle all that protein. But another thing, our dogs are bad for their muscles to outgrow everything else anyway.
And bone.
So the last thing they need is any help doing that.
Yeah. You got to realize So there's something called the IGF-1, right, guys? In fact, let me show you guys because I'm sure that some of you have either forgotten or some of you don't know what the heck I'm talking about. So I'm going to show you what it is. So whenever you do a genetic test like this one right here, okay, if you go over to traits, okay, and you scroll all the way down, you're going to run into this. What this is saying is there's 50, this dog is projected to be 57 pounds, and they have a body size IGF-1 of II, meaning small, small. You could either have a letter N for large or letter I for small. So she has II. Here's the deal when you have an N in there. When you have an N in there, the dog's going to have more of a propensity. Say this is the bone, right? It's going to make the bone grow faster when there are two things that are abundant, and that is animal fat and secondly, protein. So if you're feeding this Victor High Pro Plus puppy protein at 30% with 20% fat, that bone is going to be triggered through the hormone chain reactions told to grow faster. What ends up happening is at the end of this bone, right, you're going to have ligaments, tendons, cartilage. What happens is at the longer the bone, the more torque you're going to have at that very end. And that's precisely where the soft tissue is. We all know soft tissue gets a very small amount of blood. So it cannot compensate for the speed in which the bones are growing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
Right?
It's like when if you're trying to torque down a bolt, you would have to take a longer handle to do it because you get more leverage. Well,
Correct.
In that same way, when you have longer bones that are attached to these ligaments that are the same size, tendons and ligaments are getting more pressure from that length of the bone. It makes sense.
Look, I'm glad you brought that up. Imagine that cube that you're putting on that, right? That you got so much longer that you're going to be able to imagine that cube being plastic.
Yeah, that's right.
Now you have a big problem.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's essentially what it is. Queen's New Blood says, I spent years doing research on breeding and watching some kennels before looking to choose which breed and what to call the kennel. Landed on the American Bully due to the female my grandma had. Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm glad you're sharing that with us. Ryan Flipple says, Hollywood, I'm at work. After the live, I will become a member. I've meant to. Been slacking. Okay. Hollywood says he already took care of that. All right. Thanks, Hollywood. Look at that. We got Mr. James. What is going on?
Right there.
Oh, there he is. Hey, can you give him the new members?
Pues claro que sí, cabrón.
Claro que sí, cabrón. We do this. No. I do it. It's too easy for me. Mike, give me a pues claro que sí, cabrón.
Pues claro que sí, cabrón.
There you go.
I'm
There
pretty
you go,
close that
man.
time.
Every Monday at 7 PCST. I like it, bro. Mike,
Yeah,
that was
pretty
pretty
close.
good, man.
Pretty
That was
close,
pretty good.
man. I'm getting there.
You're getting there, man.
Welcome to the family, Ryan Flippo.
That's it, man. What's good, Bully fan? Raul, Big Mike, what's the topic? Well, we got plenty of different topics.
Man, we got topics tonight.
What's up, dog man? Been waiting on the stack offs. Well, you got to wait no more. If you're ready tonight and you remember how to do the stack off, all you got to do is let me know. We're going to drop the link. If only one person comes up your dog has to score a 7.5 or higher. If he scores a 7.5 or higher, you get no more competition. At the end of the night, we're going to spin the wheel and you're going to get a shot at $1,000. That's simple. Steve Combs says some vets are scammers. One told a coworker to buy an expensive brand of kibble to cure his food allergies. Steve Combs, that's what this community is all about. We're calling all scammers, from vets to breeders to just about everything.
Put them all on Front Street right here on QBN, I guarantee you. If I had to say, if somebody's going to go the kibble route, right? Obviously, I'm on kibble right now, but would I recommend it over raw or even cooked food? I would not. It's just where I'm at right now with my time schedule. We are going to transition back really soon. I will say this: don't worry about the sticker price. Don't worry about the name and the reputation. Don't worry about none of that. you need to look at the first 5 ingredients, and that's going to be the majority of what's in that kibble, and really go by that, man. And I tell you what, if I'm lying, I'm dying. I've drugged every bag in the store off of every shelf that they sell kibble on, and them folks come in there, sir, can we help you? No, I don't need any help. Thank you very much. I'm gonna look at these ingredients. I'm gonna look at every one of them. You know.
Damn! Put your glasses back on.
Right.
I was impressed, Mike. I was impressed, man.
Hey, when you do, man, you'll learn that most of them are just like you said a million times, Raul. They're mostly all flour, man. They're mostly trash. But there are a few decent ones out there if you dig around and do some digging. But I wouldn't care about nothing, name nobody says. I'd look.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Members mark the salmon and sweet potato formula. That's like I'm on first base now. Y'all know I do not put my hands in the fire for kibble. I don't. But this one has been good enough to where I don't want to go explore and run into an issue. You see what I'm saying? Right. I'm kind of good at first right now. I'm okay.
That's what I use in my house right now.
Yeah. We got the Life of Miklos says BBB and Bart. Hold on a second, man. We got Hollywood waving me down. What you got, Hollywood?
The only thing I was gonna say is, if your budget can afford it, that Origin has been the best one I've seen. The first 5 ingredients is nothing but meat. There's no meal, no nothing. It's just 5. But
I'm gonna counter that. A 20-pound bag over $100. I could buy.
That's what I'm saying.
I could buy a 10-pound bag of pure chicken for $5.72.
Right. That's exactly what I'm saying. So if you just if you don't have time, but you really have the money, and you're just doing kibble, that's the only one that I found that I could say actually impressed me.
To add to that, Kyle, I agree with that 100%. If money is no object, top of the line would probably be Origin.
You're going to spend $160 for 25.
Oh, you're going to spend $90 for 25. But I tell you right now,
that's the original.
Yeah. right below that, there's another brand called Acana, which is actually made by Origin.
Yeah,
it's a pretty high quality kibble as well, but it's not cheap. It's a little cheaper than Origin, but if you got $10, you'll never be able to afford it.
I'm gonna tell you,
no.
For the price, and Members what it does for you, up to right this second, Members Mark is doing it for me. Now,
I agree 100%.
If they get recalled or something else, then that might change my opinion going forward, right? Because we evolve with time. But for the price, I just don't see where you can beat them out. Let's see. Official like a referee blowing the whistle. There you go. We're having a little fun tonight, man. We're having a little fun, man. Ryan Flipple. Oh, look at that. Ryan Flipple says, thanks, y'all. Happy to be part of the community. Something to look forward. Monday evenings here at work. There you go, brother. Number love, man. And Friday as well. Yeah, we go on Friday. Easy says calcium content is also very important to make sure the bones don't grow too quick. Easy's, unfortunately, you're not a member. You just hit on a point. I would have given you a free spin. Here's the deal. You're absolutely right, my friend. If I give you a kibble that's high on calcium and phosphorus, right, and protein, the body's going to interpret that like, hey, we have plenty of resources here to make the bones bigger, more dense, longer, all this, that. Bottom line is, if you're doing that to a puppy, this is how you create all sorts of issues for a pup, right? You don't feed a 6-year-old what a bodybuilder would be eating on a daily basis. You'll probably crap their kidneys out in no time.
That's right.
And the same could be told with puppies. So, yes, sir. We got a member. I've been a member before months. There, man. Nothing but love, Jerry James. Thanks for joining us, man. Eric Rutherford. Just found out to have to register my dogs in my town. I also can't have more than 3 without a kennel license. That's a good point, Eric Rutherford. If somebody is looking to start breeding, one of the very first things you should be looking at is, what are your zoning laws?
That's right.
of wherever it is that you're located. Now, Eric, I know you're in Indiana or Indianapolis, which I don't know what's going on with that place, but you definitely need to look into your zoning laws. And if they're only limiting you to 3, then you either need to get 3 females or you might have to look into moving, my friend. It just makes it that much more difficult how you're going to have to manage it.
I would like for Eric
he
to
said
message. Go ahead, Kyle.
he said he can have more. He's just got to register as a breeder. That's all.
Yeah.
He can have up to 3, and then he's got to register to be a breeder.
The problem is that once you register yourself to be a breeder, Kyle, you're now letting the government in. Do you really want to do that, bro?
Yeah.
Do you really want to freaking open up and every time you got a pup, it's got to be registered by your vet so that the county and then the state knows how much they're going to charge you at the end of the year? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know about you. I just don't want the government up in my stuff. Charlie Silva, ¿cómo tú supiste que estabas ready para empezar tu bloodline y todo por ahí para abajo? So he's asking, right? Charlie Silva, he's asking, how did you know that you were ready to start your bloodline and everything else that goes with it? I knew coming in that I wanted a functional dog. That was what the first 10 years of me breeding was all about, was gaining structure and functionality. And I felt I got that, including temperament wise, right? I felt I got that. Now, I did also have to pivot. I had to pivot because what my initial goal was evolved into, I want that, but I also want the breed type that's associated with it. Okay. And this evolution is natural. The more expertise you become in anything, right? Like, let me give you an example. When I first became a nurse, I wanted to be all gun ho. I wanted to go work in the ICU, work ER, blah, blah, blah. I did that. After 3.5 years, I was talking to myself after I left work, burnt the frick out, right? And then in due time, I said, you know what? I could have as intense of a job, but the difference is instead of having 3 patients in one shot, I will only have 1, and I'm going to get compensated even more. And then I became a dialysis ICU nurse, right? But coming through the door, I didn't know any better. I just wanted to be an ICU nurse. So my whole point is, through evolution and through getting a little bit of experience, your opinion of what you want and where you're headed and your goals may change. There's nothing wrong with that. It means that you're actually hitting the mark even better. And
matter of fact, if you're not evolving, you're dead in the water, man.
Yeah, if you've been breeding for 30 years and your goal was the same as when you started from day one, I don't know what to tell you. There's got to be something, unless you're like, another version of Jesus Christ. There's got to be something that you might have missed along the way. And Sarata says, has anyone had people inquiring about a dog, and then when you reply, they ghost you? Price was listed, so they already knew that and didn't ask about price. I've had that a lot. And Sarata, here's the thing. I get asked for price all the time. And do you not think I know that a lot of my competitors are sending their significant other, their friend, their cousin, their neighbor, whatever, to find out what it is that I'm doing so they can figure out what they're doing over there? I can tell you more likely than not, that's what they're doing. But I'm also going to tell you this. Don't even waste your time worrying about that. Okay. There's an old saying in Spanish that says imitators are always the first in line to lose. And that's true. So anybody that's I'm over here looking at what Mike's doing so I can figure out what I'm doing here. I'm just setting myself up to lose in this community. You're just another sheep. You're not setting yourself apart. You need to look at somebody else in order to determine where your value's at. If you're below or beneath this guy next. No. You need to do things on your own and figure them out.
Keep your eye on that breed standard, man.
Yeah, Sulema Santiago says bully world becomes rude. I guess sometimes arrogant. Someone told my dog is from that name, colors, and muscles, but he gets mad when I ask for a health test. 40-year breeding bullies. Yeah, Sulema, here's the thing. And you guys saw it when we were bringing in many, many different guests over here. Whenever you bring up health testing, they all have excuses. Excuses are like body parts, right? We're just going to leave it there. But the reason they have an excuse, I'm just a phenotypical breed. If my dog has something, I would know. It's all excuses. And what's the beauty about the whole thing is technology only goes forward. I remember when I was a kid in the late 70s, black and white TVs were a norm, right? And then in the mid 80s, it was rare to see a black and white TV. You can still see them, but they were kind of rare. By the mid 90s, there was no such thing as a black and white TV. In fact, I don't think there's one today. So my whole point is you could sit here and come up with as many excuses as you want and say that you're old school and all this and that. I give it 3 years, man. Everybody's asking for an embark nowadays. Right. I give it 3 years before they either going to not buy from you or you're going to have to adapt and bite the bullet.
It'll be mandatory, I guess.
It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere.
Man, just to give a little example of perspective, I'm on some tool stuff tonight, but it's once you use some power tools and then somebody throws a wrench in your hand, you're like, really? You want to turn this bolt by hand? And that's the power of technology. And that's how big a difference it is with that embark test. I mean, it's way too cheap and way too telling for the price that you invest to say like, oh, I've got this dog. The whole world knows about my dog, but you don't have an embark.
Yeah. So let me get this straight. Like, you kill the majority of the pups in your litter like Hitler used to kill Jews. Because I actually had somebody say that. I'm paraphrasing them, by the way. And you're going to kill 9 out of a 10 pup litter because you're keeping nothing but the best, but you're not going to embark test them because you know what? You know that your dog is a carrier or something? Like, there's no way you can know.
Yeah,
that's why you got to test.
That are not visible.
Yeah. So whenever you have somebody talking like that, not making any sense, that scammer red flag needs to come up. That's the first thing that needs to come up, man. Straight up. We have Danielle McCrae saying, I have an extra small 8-week-old pit puppy. What can I do to fatten her up in a healthy way? Maybe
carbs.
Maybe like
potato or
cereal.
rice.
You can do little satin balls if you wanted to, a little ground beef with some cereal, some cottage cheese, that sort of thing. But if it's tiny, if in a month or two you're not seeing it catching up to the rest of the litter, then it may be because it's a true runt. Coach Karen says kibble never cured anything, causes more things to be cured. 100. I couldn't agree. Domingo Murillo, vets are the big ones. Just saying. Look, Domingo, who you talking to, Domingo? I had a female, Jenny, may she rest in peace. I had a female. This was 4 years ago. I go to my vet on Tuesday. They know she's going to be popping any minute, right? Because she was pregnant. And it just so happens that she went in full labor on Saturday. Well, guess what? The only weekend supposedly out of the year that they don't work is the July 4th weekend because they take all their employees and everybody to have a ball or whatever. So long story short, I called on Saturday. Nobody told me nothing. That same Tuesday I was there, but nobody said nothing because they didn't want me to say anything. Because if I said my female's coming in, she's going to have pups or whatever, that would mean somebody would have to stay. Nobody wanted to stay. So I'm going to tell you how it went down. The way it went down is she gives birth on July 3rd on Saturday. I had to end up running over here to Conroe Emergency, which is the biggest scam I've ever seen in my life. They killed every single puppy. I don't know how my female made it out alive. And by the way, they had a brand spanking new, wet behind the ears vet. If you ever worked in the medical field and you walk into a room, just the presence alone will let you know if they've been there or they're brand spanking new. This dude, he couldn't have been any more new. And he purposefully waited 6.5 hours before he opened her up to make sure there was no heartbeats. They then closed her up, and it was a $6,500 bill. Talk about a scam. So on Monday, I show up at my vet, the same vet that I had at the time 23 dogs going to. Do the math. Got 23 dogs going in here, bro. You're making money off of me. Went in there. I want the paperwork on every single one of my dogs. Even the vet came from the back. Oh, Mr. Fagundes, what's happening? I said, what do you mean what's happening? How the hell are you guys going to see me come in here on Tuesday? You know my female's about to give birth. You know you're not going to be here on the weekend, and y'all just leave me out to dry? I've spent over $40,000 this year alone with all of my dogs. What makes you think I'm going to spend another dollar with you?
Mm-hmm.
That's when I learned you need to have not one, not two, not three, 5 different vets. I have 5 different vets. I have a vet that will crop my dog's ears. I have a vet that will do my surgicals. I have another vet that will do my surgicals. I have another vet that will do my surgicals. And all of those that do surgicals, plus a 4th one, will also take care of me on an emergency basis. You see? So I'm never going to be running into a $6,500 bill, Lord forbid, right, with a vet that has an agenda. Because if they're not a reproductive vet, they will find a way to kill every single one of your puppies. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, and they'll break your pocket too every time.
Yeah. They're the only ones that win out of the whole transaction. Even the dog that got operated on, you don't even know if she's going to make it. Jaira Grimm says, I just got the beef and the brown rice. All right, Zulema, I think that's why this sometimes is very difficult. People just look at name, colors, and muscles and forget about the importance of genetics and health in our breed. But Zulema, here's the thing, and this is what we're talking about. More and more people are asking for that genetic testing. Yep. More and more people know that, like at least, when I go ahead and I bring up Embark, like this right here. This is Embark, guys. This is what Embark looks like. This is what whenever you genetically test a dog, you're gonna have a koi, you're gonna come in here, you're gonna go to health, and you're gonna be seeing what's going on here as far as health. Traits is gonna tell you what's going on, not just color, but this dog, for example, my girl Aruba, she's a short muzzle gene carrier. She's supposed to be 63 pounds. By the way, this is usually off by 25 pounds. She was always anywhere between 85 and 88 pounds. And she's NI on the IGF-1. This is all very pertinent information, secondary to the health. Look at Aruba. Look, she was completely clear. This is a female dog. Of course, I'm not breeding her anymore, but that's a female dog who, regardless who I would be breeding it to, I would be very interested in getting a pup from her, because her mitochondrial DNA, along with everything else that she doesn't have, thank God, is what she's passing on to the pups. And that's what you want to get. L Bob says, I agree. If you're trying to buy a designer breed for the low right now, it's the time due to inflation. But don't put all your eggs in one basket, because inflation is getting worse than COVID times. Well, here's the thing, El Bob, and I know you're in the UK, and I'm not trying to take a shot at you, but just hear me out. I've actually some prices come down. Not in everything. I'm not going to sit here and say otherwise, but I have seen, especially in the food, I am starting to see downward pressure on the dog food. Not the dog food. I'm saying dog food in general. My bad. And I see it in those 10-pound chicken bags. Literally 8 months ago, they were $6.72. Right now, they're $5.72. If you think about it, that's a difference of $1. That's about a good 20, almost 20% drop. That's not too shabby. So, and again, it doesn't go for everything, but just some of the things. By the way, Kyle, go ahead and drop it. I need to know, let Queen's New Blood Kennel know nothing but love.
Pues claro que sí, cabrón.
Thank you, Queen's New Blood Kennel. Wait a minute. Kyle's giving me the finger. What's up, man?
Said they got one more. They gifted another one.
They gifted another one. Well, look, man.
Pues claro que sí, cabrón.
Well, you know what, Queens Bullies, you're about to piss me off here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to give you 2 free wheel spins. That's what we're going to do, right? That's what happens when you piss me off right there. You're going to get the first wheel spin. Come on now. Come on now. Here we go. Here we go. There you go. You're getting a hat and a beanie.
Hat and a beanie.
Hat and a beanie. First time up. Let's see what you're getting here on the second one. Here we go. Here we go.
Spinning the wheel.
Here we go. Regal choice. Regal choice. Regal. All right. All right. You got yourself a hat. You got yourself a hat. All right. So do me a favor. Get in contact with Kyle. Download QBN app. Go to Holland Custom Designs. Give Kyle your address. Let him know who you are. Also, let me know your head size, right? I'm just kidding. One size fits all. And we'll go ahead and get that shipped out to you. All right. Let's see here. Kyle says it'll take at least 6 or 7 generations to have a bloodline. This is true. I put my pups on adult at 4 months. That's probably one of the best things you could have done, Echo. Do you have a video on marketing your stud? We do. We have videos on just about everything. In fact, before Mike beats me to it, I'm going to show you guys how to go to my homepage, right? Because, Mike, I already know you were itching to let him know, man.
I don't play about that. I put him on it.
I got you, man. I got you. So, look, I'm going to show you guys something so you can see how easy it is for you to get the information you're looking for. So if you're trying to learn how to market your stud, this is what I would put. Marketing my stud. Let's see what happens when you do that. Whoa, what do you know? Comprehensive guide to stud your dog. Oh, my God.
There.
That's right. Curious about how much money breeders make? Look, 6 figures in 2025. What's real money? Running successful dog business. So my whole point is whatever you're looking for, it's there. All you got to do is go to the homepage, click the search, and put whatever you're looking for. Look, starting a kennel. Let's see. Starting a kennel. If you were to do that, boom. Look at that. Power of the bitch. Starting your kennel. Dog breeding 101. Then, look, we got a short. We got podcast. We got videos. I mean, I can't make it any easier for you guys. But you guys have to be willing to go in there and look it up, man. It's really that simple. Mike is always on point. Mike, you got yourself a fan over here, bro.
I sure appreciate it.
Coach Karen says most counties even enforce kennel licenses. Not in Texas, thank God.
Not really in the South that I've seen.
That's true. They want their register fee for each pup. Yeah, that's what they're after, bro. And unfortunately, man, that's Indiana. Indiana for you. Eric Rutherford, yes, it's BS. Needless to say, I'm moving. There you go, man. You need to come down to Texas or even Arkansas or any
Arkansas, baby. Hey, Coach Karen's all the way in Canada. Am I mistaken?
No, I believe she's in Arizona.
Oh, Arizona. That's right.
Arizona. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how I remember all these things.
I don't either, man.
Somehow I do. I mean to say you're always on point. My bad, Bubba. Now you good, man. Kahiki says, hey, fam, Queen's New Blood just gifted 1 QBN membership for those who aren't a part of the family. Get on it. It can't get any better than this, man. Nothing but love. Queens says, planning to do it every 2 weeks on our Bully Lives. I'm able to make it. Some of these questions all good. Thank you. Nothing but love. I appreciate you. Let's see what else as far as the topics. We're talking about 3 flaws that you should never ignore if you're getting into breeding. Coach Karen says it's a good thing for that type of person to ghost you at that rate. Look at this. Okay, so she's talking about somebody asking for prices and then ghosting you. Coach also says, Salema, I have a 30K racehorse, literally blow the doors off millions of dollar horses. no one has the perfect science for it. Yeah, we're dealing with genetics. Hey, but as a customer, can I ask how I could properly inquire about price of pup if it's not listed? You straight up ask. You DM whoever it is and say, hey, what I usually do is I'll send a screenshot of the puppy or dog I seen, and I'll say, what are you asking for the pup? You know, what's the price? And they should be able to tell you. Eric Rutherford says, you guys should check out exclusive signature kibble. It's $60 for 30-pound bag, but I mix it with wholesome fresh carrots, green beans, and I also give half can of wet food. What do you think? Eric, I'm going to tell you straight up, bro. Just keeping it real with you. If I'm going to pay $60 for a 30-pound bag that I also have to add another kibble to, fresh carrots, green beans, and also a can of wet food, well, what am I doing? I'm just saying, if you're going to feed kibble, in my mind, it's because it's the easiness of it, how easy it becomes for you. If you got to go through all that to feed that, then you might as well just feed raw while you're at it. Change the kibble and just feed raw chicken. I'm just saying, man, we got Trinidad and Tobago, Tonio Patterson, Ronnie F. What's up, Raul? I've been slacking with the show, been a little crazy with a newborn and a pup, but we're still here, Ronnie F. Number love, man. Hey, and on your new baby. There you go. Number love, man. Number love for you, man. Glad to hear, man. Families are growing. Tony Patterson, big up to you. Southside Kennel from Trinidad, Tobago. Lot of mercy. Coach Karen says, ever since the field vet industry died, so did the rest of vet care. They practice on their own feelings over any actual medical condition, injury, and treatment. I agree. And this is why I say, if you are a breeder, find yourself a reproductive vet in the country. You're going to trust me on that. It's going to make a world of difference. Domingo Murillo, I had a similar situation as well. They're the biggest scammers. They just want your money. Let's be honest. He's talking about vets. And those are usually the city vets. City vets, they're stuck on having to make a living off of Fido and the kitty cat. That's it. But the country vet, he's got cows, horses, sheep. There's so many other animals that they have their business plan around, that they don't have to necessarily kill you over your cat or dog. D. Taylor, can vets in Texas put your dog down without consent and you not be allowed in the room with the vet and your dog, and the vets here can put them down if the breed or the dog is dangerous? Not sure if this is the norm. I have never heard of such thing in Texas. I haven't. I don't know if they can or can't. I have never, in the 10 years that I've been breeding, I've never had anybody come to me and tell me anything like this. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Honestly, I've never heard of that at all. I didn't know they did that anywhere.
Yeah.
Without consent.
Yeah. I could only imagine if your dog killed somebody or attacked a person, then the county's going to show up with their animal control and get your dog and put it down. I get that.
Yeah.
But as far as just a regular private vet, just grabbing your dog, putting it down because it's dangerous, I think that's outside of their scope. I could be wrong. Sulema says, Coach Karen, I know science is not perfect. My point is the guy are telling that his dogs are worth up to $30K. But I've never done a health exam. 40 years of breeding, and you have no embark on a stud. Nor will he ever. You see, that person that's telling you they don't have an embark and they don't believe in embark and all this, that's straight bullshit. They did an embark, and they sure as hell don't want you to see what's under the hood.
That's a fact.
That's exactly what's happening. And I'm going to tell you why. Think about this for a minute. Breeders are nothing more than marketers. Some of them are like used car salesmen. Some of them are like high-end real estate salesmen.
Yeah.
Either way, they're trying to sell. And when you have something that's good as a breeder, you show it to the world. Like in my case, for example, my line.
We're old school around here, Raul. We don't use nothing but hand wrenches around here. We don't use no power tools around here.
Right. Like my point is, we always had correct feet, straight feet, correct feet, straight feet, correct feet, straight feet, correct feet, straight feet. I just correct feet, straight, tight feet, correct feet, blah, blah, blah. I keep shoving it down your freaking throat because the majority of the dogs out here are east-west. And guess what? I'm able to produce them correct. Thanks mostly, of course, to my Nuvet and New Joint DS. But outside of that, I'm going to show it to you. You think that breeder that's been breeding for 40 years, if he had a dog that was clean, like I just showed you Aruba a minute ago, he wouldn't show it to you? Please. Not only would he show it to you, he would raise the price.
Yeah.
But the reason he doesn't raise the price or show it to you is because he doesn't want you to see what's under the hood. Fredia, it doesn't feel right by not having embark on the litter. You're selling, at least to me, health genetics is what is most important. Again, to me, proof is in the pudding. Well, more and more people are coming in line. Like I said, technology is only becoming cheaper. I remember embark, whenever you would send the embark, you would have to wait 8 weeks for it to, to have the turnaround time. I sent Morticia's in, and within 2 weeks is back. And I would not be surprised if there's a competition at Embark that starts challenging them on price. And all of a sudden, from $100 test to 80 to 70 to maybe even down to 50. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. IG XL Champ Cooper. I watched your old video about transitioning the dog to raw with greenies. Is there another way? I don't think they sell those greenies anymore. Of course they do. I'll show you. I like to show people because
while you're looking that up, people are learning more now that the embark is not for the customer. It is, but it ain't. It's that, but it's even more for the breeder.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like buying a car without popping the hood.
Yeah,
but it's also like building cars and not popping the hood. It's like you need to know either way what's under there, man. And like Raul said, if they've been doing it a long time, you're like, yeah, we've been working on cars forever, Ryan. We don't pop the hood around here. It's like,
yeah, right. I'm gonna come all the way over here to buy this car at that price, and we're not gonna pop the hood. Yeah, right. Sure, buddy. Yeah, listen, this is Amazon, by the way. And if you go to Amazon and look, all I typed in was greenies right here. You go to Amazon, you type in greenies, and look, man, there's more greenies than you can shake a stick at. So, yeah, they got plenty of greenies, my friend. Shade Tree says the first flaw is a breeder that will lie to you. No kinky tails, not fond of high rear, but I'm okay with underbite. No overbite, though. So, Miss Shade Tree, I'm going to give you a free spin right now.
They're wanting to get into these flaws, ain't they?
Yeah, she just hit on one of the flaws, one of the 3 flaws that are unforgivable, and that's the kink tail. The reason you cannot forgive a kink tail is because that happens due to the development of the pup, okay, in the mesoderm. And that's where the eyes, the kidneys, the heart, and also the spine are being made. So you could be basically exchanging that kink tail for heart issues or kidney issues or eye issues if you keep breeding that. So here you go, Miss Shay. There you go for hitting one of the 3. And there it is, wristband. All right, Miss Shay. All you got to do is download QBN app, go to Holland Metal Custom Designs, and give him your info, and I'll be shipping that to you. Well, Echo says, huh? Yeah, the wheels being sweet. I'm surprised somebody hasn't shown a dog for $1,000 prize, bro.
I'm telling you.
I'm surprised about that. Echo says in Canada, register as a kennel, as a business with the province. I don't need to register fee my dogs for the city and flaw not to ignore kink tail. Echo, you got beaten to by Miss Shatry on that one. Otherwise, I give you a spin. Can playing tug of war with a pup cause an underbite? It cannot cause the underbite, but what it can do once the puppy has developed an underbite is actually develop the muscles in the lower mandible, which are not going to help in correcting the underbite. So it's not going to cause it, but definitely now, Yeah, you don't want to strengthen the muscles on the mandible. Coach Karen says, I completely understand Zulema. People do it in all animal ownership and it's so dishonest and just gross. It is. Kyle says, yes, do cottage cheese and sour cream and kibble 3 days, then follow for 2 days raw, 10%, and kibble 90%. Then every 2 to 3 days, slowly move it all to raw. Look at Kyle. Kyle, I'm going to have to give you a double raise, man. First taurine and now this. What the hell is going on here?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
We got Lopez Bully says, fun fact about Canada. If you're looking to get into breeding in Canada, you don't need a license. Okay. Same in Texas, just about, unless you have 11 intact females. I believe that's the wording. Queen's New Blood Kennel says, most definitely if a breeder isn't honest about expectations and what is expected from each litter and breeding, I'm not even talking to the breeder. How about this, Queens? How about this? How about you know enough to identify flaws in the litter, and you're expecting this breeder who you're buying the pup from to tell you that puppy you're about to get what the weaknesses are. And you're smart enough to know if he's bullshitting you or if he's telling you the truth. You see, that's the point that I want to get people on this platform. Get you to the point where you're able to identify things for yourself. And now you're just playing a mental game with the breeder.
What about identifying flaws, Raul? We got any videos on that?
Well, what do you know, Mike? What do you know, Mike? We have, in fact, I don't know how many videos we have on that, but we're about to find out here, little fella.
More than one on there.
A bunch. There's a lot.
Yeah.
So look, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up to the screen. Okay, so check it out. We're gonna say here
flaws. Just type flaws and see what happens.
Just type flaws. All right, flaws. Oh, I even typed it wrong. Hold on. There you go. Flaws. There you go. Boom. There you go. Fix flaws. Diet and flaws. QBN shorts. The American Bully mistake that's costing you thousands. Look at the East-West. It's breaking that down. Pros and cons. Bully breed faults. I mean, guys, look. Fixing pasterns. It's even telling you how to fix them. How to breed dogs. Breaking it down genetically. I mean, guys, again, if you're not going to our homepage and going to search, I can
tell you this right now, man. It's literally a 100% free college education as a breeder.
Yeah.
There's no place that has an archive like that where you can type in topics and learn about. And I promise you, if it's something that breeders and dog community folks want to know, there's a video on it. So, you know, years and years of this archive, man, it's there. So like you can deep dive into it all, man. And look,
and it's in a video form. You just sit back, get your popcorn ready.
That's right.
Chill out for 10 minutes, and you're gonna know something that you didn't know before.
Free college education, man. I don't know where you can get that at.
Hey, Adam Fields just hit on the second flaw that I'm telling you not to ever ignore, and that's stiff stifles. Adam Fields,
come on,
this one's for you, man. Adam Fields,
my guy, Adam Fields. What's up, buddy?
He's won just about every prize there is to be won. In fact, this is one of the few times he's ever lost. All right,
I'm telling you.
You're about to make me bankrupt, man. I'm just messing. Kahiki says, been slacking with work, fam, deep into our Monday eating lives. I'll catch you guys on the next one. No issues, bro. How do you guys feel about Sure Grow 100? I can tell you this right now. The only supplement that we use is Nuvet and New Joint DS, bro. That's all we use right there. Ordering code is 513237. You get 13% off with auto ship. Nuvet, the beauty of Nuvet, and in fact, I have one of those videos that I did, you're going to see when I started feeding puppies Victor High Pro Plus, how their arms became all wonky and flexy and whatnot. This stuff not only has all the right vitamins on there, but it also has the minerals that you need: phosphorus, potassium, zinc, calcium, selenium, at the right exact amounts. mind you, we already spoke. Too much calcium, phosphorus, it's going to cause too much bone to grow too quickly for those soft tissue. You need the right amounts. In addition, this right here, New Joint DS, is what's really going to help those soft tissues grow. It's got glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM, vitamin C. I mean, it's got everything that your dog needs. So I don't know about Shore Grow, man. I really can't talk about it, but I do know about Nuvet and the results that we've been able to get from them, man.
It's hard to find a good product also that's not denatured, you know. That's the other thing, that these companies, they want it to last on the shelves. And so everything that they've got just about is denatured. And that means that the contents that are on the ingredients list are not actually in it. They were in it when they made it, and then they cooked it at such a high temperature to make it last on the shelf that it's been denatured and that stuff's cooked out of it. Whereas
it became something, it became talc. It became talc, basically.
Nuvet is human grade, and it hasn't been denatured, so that stuff's in there.
Yeah. Queen says, to me, if you see a flaw in one of the adults or pups, and point it out. If that breeder gets defensive about it, instead of talking about it, how they're breeding away from that, I agree. That's one of the fastest way to know if you're dealing with a breeder or a scammer. Scammers going, oh, no, we don't do that. Get out of here. You can get upset, get defensive, blah, blah, blah. That's a scammer. Yep. A real breeder's going to tell you, yeah, I know. We're actually, we're going to go ahead and breed to this and breed to that so we could fix it. Coach Karen says, folks want the recipes, can't give sticker shock without a backup of why. Cars have hoods now. Oh, okay. So she was talking about when you were saying they want to sell you a car without letting you see the motor. I'm talking about the same one you had. I'm not talking about the brand. I'm sorry, IGXL. I'm not sure what you were talking about. Roy Wan, big shout out to you guys. Not sure if this question is asked at the correct place. I have 2 Corsos, both females, about 15 months. My bully just gave birth to some pups a week ago, and this time I've separated the Corso and bully. The 3 of them grew up together and were always friendly. However, after my bully gave birth, the Corsos are extremely aggressive towards the bully. Wow, I would think it'd be the other way around if she had pups. The Corsos would bark and lunge with the intent to attack her whenever she walks past her cage. This just, man, look, and that's why I tell people, whenever you get into a working line breed like the Corso, you better know what the hell you're dealing with and what you're doing, because they will act differently. I'll be honest with you, I've never heard of such a thing.
I haven't either, but I tell you that Cane Corso breed, they're beautiful dogs. I really admire the breed. They are a lot of responsibility. And if you were to pick the 10 breeds that are the most responsibility, I would say they're in the top 3. They're a lot. They'll take over any yard, anything if they're not handled properly, and they have a lot of maintenance to do with discipline and stuff on those dogs. That's an unusual circumstance, though. I hadn't heard anything like that. If first thing that comes to mind to me would be maybe that her having the puppies and them hearing the whole thing go down, it could be confusing maybe to a dog, and maybe it scared them. I mean, but I can only speculate. I don't know.
I don't know. I would think the mama dog would have been the one lunging at la-di-da-di everybody, because that's what's expected. I would have never expected for the Corsos to be the one attacking her. Eric Rutherford says, can you explain stiff stifles more? Absolutely, bro. Let me do this. Let me show you this. So right here, Mike, I'm going to jump on the screen real quick just to show them. So you got your stifle right here. You see the stifle? You see how it's got a curvature? Hold on, I'm trying to draw it here. You see that curvature there? Okay. When it's stiff, you're not going to have that curvature. It's just going to come straight down. And you're also going to notice the dog's going to be walking like it's walking on stilts. Also, if a breeder won't show you the dog's side shot like this, for example, look at this side shot. If the breeder's not showing you a side shot like this, is because they're trying to hide something. They're either going to try to hide the high rear or the rear angulation, or one or the other, or both, right? This is why I don't care what breeder it is, he or she should be able to show you side shots of both the male and female that are being bred. That's just breeding 101. So excuse me.
I'll say that to add to that, Raul, you talked about the angle of that stifle right there being at 45-degree angle. And you can also tell when that hawk is when that foot is behind the butt and that hawk is straight up and down, and usually that angulation should all be working together to where if that hawk, which is what's above the foot there in the back, straight up and down there, if that is up under the knee or the stifle, up under the tail, that's when that leg looks really stiff, and you can see
Yes.
when you watch the movement of the dog.
So what he's saying is, if you're seeing the hawk right here, if this right here and here, you can see it's perpendicular basically to a 90-degree angle to a wall. But if this hawk, if it was stiff stifle, it would actually come forward to right about here, because it doesn't have the angulation to push it all the way back, or it'll be twisted. You'll see this back hawk either twisted back or twisted forward. Okay, that's how you know if you're having either too much or too little angulation. That's a good point, Mike, that you brought up. Inserata says, if the Corsos or dogs are in cage and others not, it can cause barrier anxiety. This is true. D. Taylor trying to get a spin, roachback, east-west, stiff kink tail. Well, the third thing that I was going to tell you that you actually need to look at is temperament. And I know it's a flaw, but it's not an evident flaw that you can see or touch. But behavioral issues. Look, Sulema hit on the head. Another fault can be behavioral issues. Sulema, you're 100% on point, and I'm going to go ahead and give you the spin. Sulema Santiago, here we go. Sulema Santiago, all the way in the Carolinas. Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness. Sulema. That was close. But no, you're absolutely right. Too timid of a dog, too aggressive of a dog. These are things that you cannot overlook. If you bought a dog, I don't care how much it costs, how beautiful it is. If it has aggressive tendencies, it becomes an immediate liability. You're better off putting it down. It's not what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear.
I'll tell you another thing to factor into that situation with the mama dog and the Corsos. I'm thinking about that. I hope people understand how much dogs communicate. There can be a lot of trash talking going on between dogs that are separated, and all they can do is yell at each other.
Yeah.
And sometimes things can be said that can't be taken back. I have a Great Pyrenees out of my yard, and he's the sweetest dog. He's not aggressive to my other dogs. But I know when I got a female in heat, I can't just let my male walk around him out there freely, or they'll get into it. And if they get into it, then they'll never be friends again.
Right. They keep a grudge. They'll keep a grudge. Yeah.
Oh man, they'll hold a grudge. And so I deter them from each other when I got a dog in heat, because I don't want that ever to happen the first time, because then it's a problem forever. And it could be a similar situation with that mama dog and those cane Corsos. They've been barking at each other, talking trash. And it's like, okay, next time I catch you away from that cage talking tough, or whatever the case may be, and they'll hold a grudge. It could be that.
D. Taylor saying that he said it. He had spoken about aggression, but you got beaten to this time, D. Taylor, by Sulema Santiago, man. She said it before. Her comment was above yours, man.
But D. Taylor isn't a member anymore.
Oh, no, but it wouldn't matter, bro. D. Taylor's been around long enough, and I know what's up, man. So that wouldn't be an issue. Echo, or the hawk doesn't bend or flex correctly is also stiff. Yeah, I explained that. If you're seeing the hawk being twisted forward, it's obviously because you're lacking angulation. If it twists back, you got too much angulation. Echo says, can look correct as standstill, but not in movement. That's correct. Movement is when the judges truly evaluate your dog. While trash talk is a perspective that makes sense. Look, Mike is 100% right. I have dogs that will trash talk. I could tell you right now, in my yard, my main trash talker is Pinky. Pinky will start some shit.
I believe
Pinky,
that.
Pinky will start some shit, and then she'll run behind Cadabra and be like, you deal with it. You're the alpha female. Shit. She starts it, but then she kind of pushes everything on the alpha.
It's so funny because her and her brother are so different like that.
Oh, yeah. No, Blueberry does not have an alpha bone in his body or beta. Blueberry just wants to be able to chew on his stick and play with everybody and be happy.
Yeah.
He doesn't want any type of complications in his life, man. Queen says the gate, you can't hide anything if that dog is moving. All flaws will be present. Absolutely.
I'll tell you what.
You could stack a dog out of an east-west. You could stack a dog out of a roachback. You could stack a dog out of so many things. The minute they're in movement, you can't hide it.
I'll tell you what, and that's, to add to that, Raul, that I couldn't agree with that more. Watching the movement of a dog, you're watching all these moving parts, watching the mechanics, and you get a better look at that in motion than you do any other way. And on that note, same thing when you're looking at dogs, when you're looking at puppies, when you're looking at making a selection. If they don't have any videos of the dogs, if you're looking all through their page and you don't see any moving dogs, they're only stacked, they're on a hill, you can't really see their feet because it's in the high grass, and it's like, you can't be hiding all that stuff in every picture. And then if you ask them for videos and they have any qualms about sending it to you, they're hiding stuff, man.
That's where it's at. Hey, real quick, let me send some love to Complex Persona. Hey, we appreciate your donation, man. Number love. Yes, sir. Number love. Charlie Silva says, if I wanted to start a bloodline and my female is lacking, maybe the size, but physical features, everything else is on point. How does genetics come into play the recessive and dominant genes? Wow. Charlie, that's quite of a complex question you asked.
It really is.
A
lot of moving parts in that question.
Yeah, we all know the majority of genes in the dogs are recessive. However, sometimes when you inbreed a dog that has the same recessives, what happens in breeding is those two recessives outweigh a dominant. They become their own category. Let me give you an example. I had a dog when I first started out. He had blue eyes. He was a product of a half brother, half sister breeding. I bred him to my girl Azu. May she rest in peace. She had brown eyes. Well, Jenny came out with blue eyes. We're like, what the hell? All right. Well, we bred a black dog into Jenny. Two of the pups came out, black dog with black eyes. Two of the pups came out with blue eyes. You're like, you're like, dude, you don't comprehend unless you know what we're looking at here. It's impossible. It can't happen.
Nothing trumps the black.
Nothing trumps the black. But what I then later learned is that two recessives, when inbred, they multiply their strengths exponentially, and they could actually outweigh or counter a dominant trait.
That's right.
Right? Now, with that being said, we talk about COI, the coefficient of inbreeding. That is a score on how many homozygotic pairs you got. Granted, we said the majority of dog genes are recessive, and we know when they're homozygotic, they're able to express, right? With that being said, the COI doesn't cover how many dominant pairs are in the dog. So say the dog is dominant, say, in Merle. He's got one Merle gene, which we all know is dominant, right? Now, his COI may be a 1, and the female that he's going into is 38. Because that one Merle gene he has is dominant, throw everything out the window. He's
50%
about
or more of that litter is going to be Merle.
50% of that litter is going to be Merle because that's a dominant gene.
Another thing to add to the second part of this, it's the first part of this question, rather, if he's trying to hold on to wanting to know what he can add to his blood there with the female, I think her COI, like Raul was saying, is very important. Because if it's too high, you may not be able to add to what she's got very easily. If it's low, then you'll be able to pick the right stud and add what you're looking for into your program without too much trouble.
This is true. What else is true is you are able to, if you're able to find a male that's got the same or similar homozygosities then what happens is, like I just said, recessive pairs are going to come together and multiply exponentially, and they're going to become stronger than a dominant trait by itself, if that makes any sense. And I'm going to show you guys something here in a second. Insert the complex persona. I think I had a question on that. Complex is asking, do we get Nuvet DS or regular? Listen, Complex, you can get whatever you want to get, man. I don't. My recommendation, now that's what you're asking for, and I'm thinking that's it, is Nuvet, which is this green bottle right here, and New Joint DS, which actually trumps that little blue bottle we have there, which is Joint Plus. I suggest you get these two together. Why? Because look at the vitamins and then look at the stuff, the minerals that are in there, right? Phosphorus, potassium, zinc, calcium, selenium. That was made to go exclusively with what goes in here, right? Which is your glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM, vitamin C.
They're
right?
the full spectrum together.
Yeah, the full spectrum together is what gets you the most explosive or synergistic results you can get off of this product. We've seen this product within 18 days completely. Look, I got pictures here, man. I'm over here talking on my ear. Look at this picture. In 18 days, bro. 18 days. Look at the difference. No more knuckling over. In 18 days, look at the correction. Let me take the comment down so it could be seen a little better. Look at the correction. Okay. So this stuff, it's been proven to work. Okay. It's been proven to work over and over again. And that's why I recommend that you get them both. There's some people that are going to try and do their own thing. Hey man, you can by all means, but I'm just saying that's what I recommend. Adam Fields already knows Nuvet New Joint DS, and our ordering code is 513-237. You need an ordering code since you cannot buy this stuff in stores, guys. Kyle's saying you have the green bottle as your multivitamin, then your blue bottle is your added supplement on top of the green. I agree. We got True Pack 4444. I'm feeding my dog Members Mark, just as you said, and he is 100% better. Good stuff. Now, do yourself a favor, get yourself some Nuvet and New Joint DS, and then you're going to be coming back to me saying I'm a genius. And it's not that I'm a genius; it's just that the product works so well. It
really is good product. I've been using it for 2 years, both of them on my program, and I have no complaints. It's been really good. The dogs love it. It's a treat to them. If I put it in their bowl, it's the first thing they eat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they love it, man. The taste, the taste of it. TR Baber says bred red. I guess he bred red female, red nose with black male, with all black dogs behind him, and didn't get a single black pup. Are you sure it wasn't the neighbor's dog that got up in there? Yeah, right. I'm just saying. Queen's New Blood. If I remember, Bloodline takes time, and they always carry a specific trait unique to only that line of dogs. Within that, a breeder kennel, be it behavior or phenotype. And Queen's Kennel, I couldn't say it any better. It's like a dictionary. What you just said is the exact definition. Shade Tree says, the first time I ordered Nuvet, I seen a difference in 24 hours with my senior dog. She was glowing and more playful. Let me bring Kyle from the back. Kyle, what happened the first 24 hours you were taking Nuvet and New Joint DS?
Oh man, everybody in the house was happy. Let me
Is this
tell you,
what-
my life changed for the better.
Was this before you had the beard?
Yeah, no, it helped that too, man. I used to have like a little bitty thing going here and a little bit right here.
Oh, you reminded me of Charlie Chaplin back in the days, the little mustache and everything. But look at you now, full beard and everything, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
1 year on Nuvet.
1 year on Nuvet. There you have it, guys. But listen, it's been a good one. I hope. I don't know if we hit on everything. We didn't hit on if the XLs are going extinct or how many times you should breed a female. But guess what? You could drop the comments or the questions. And for the next half hour, I'm going to answer every single one of them. Either way, Kyle, lead us off, man.
It's your boy Hollywood Holland, your boy in the back of the queue. We're catching you on the next one.
There you go,
Boom.
Michael Higginson.
Michael Higginson with QBN Kennel out of Arkansas, man. Hey, I love what we do here, man. Love the questions tonight. I really enjoy it. We'll catch y'all on the next one.
Hey, you already know we do this every Monday, every Friday at 7 p. CST. We also starting that midnight talk every Friday at midnight. Either way, if you want more topics, more dog talk, whatever it is, drop it down in the comments. Let us know so we could actually cater to you. It's been Raul from the Q. I'll be catching you on the next one.
Here we go, kill the whistle. Oh yeah. We are going for a whole hour. Straight dog talk and the song. Jump on in and speculate. Show up on time, don't be weak and late. We are community, so don't hate. And learn to cooperate. Yeah, hit that like button and do your thing. 5 membership will get you in. So let's talk dogs and don't waste no time. Monday 7 p. CST. Don't come doing the HATE. Otherwise Hollywood will give you the BYE. Here we go.